3 more to go till the end of the year. I'm going to do another one of mine. It's called Silly Buggers. It's all about a pub fight. And it goes like this. I went out to the pub one night, as I am wont to do, only there for to have a pint. This day I caused a row. There were this big bloke called Pete, and I sat in his seat. Now I'll recollect what happened next to you. So if any other buggers play silly buggers, I'll have you up with the magistrate, then a night in the cell for to contemplate you playing silly buggers. Pete come looming over me, he told me to jog on. I sat and inquired where his prerogative was from. He told me to vacate, so I said, listen mate, this seat was free with no name written on. So if any other buggers play silly buggers, I'll have you up with the magistrate, then a night in the cell for to contemplate you playing silly buggers. He curled his lip and raised his fist, he said he was a fighter. Though this Pete were a great big lad, well I'm swift as a viper. And then he swung to I, so I poked him in the eye, and he went down like a sack of Maris pipers. So if any other buggers play silly buggers, I'll have you up with a magistrate, then a night in the cell for to contemplate you playing silly buggers. Well, Pete went down and rolled around and cried just like a baby. I touched a nerve as I was observed by his best mate Davy. He flew after me, so then I tried to flee and crashed into some big lads from the Navy. So if any other buggers play silly buggers, I'll have you up with the magistrate, then a night in the cell for to contemplate you playing silly buggers. There were 8 more all on shore from their tour a-cruising, by reprieve all on shore leave and itching for a bruising. I apologised to the red mist in their eyes, but this was a one fight they would not be losing. So if any other buggers play silly buggers, I'll have you up with the magistrate, then a night in the cell for to contemplate you playing silly buggers. Chairs were brought down over heads, it was an awful tizzy. Man and boy and the hoi polloi, everyone got busy. The landlord got stuck in and took one on the chin by some bloke who wanted his beer fizzy. So if any other buggers play silly buggers, I'll have you up with the magistrate, then a night in the cell for to contemplate you playing silly buggers. The widow flag with her handbag dealt a grain left hooker, that it damned the lorry man who Yanks would call a trucker. We made such a din that someone phoned it in, and then there came this door knock by some policeman. So if any other buggers play silly buggers, I'll have you up with the magistrate, then a night in the cell for to contemplate you playing silly buggers. In comes Brent, superintendent, and gave us all the eye. We stood like fools, put down bar stools that had been poised to fly. We stood like one amazed when the scene he had surveyed. His words were choice, when in a loud voice cried, if any other bugger plays silly buggers, I'll have you up with the magistrate, then a night in the cell for to contemplate you playing silly buggers.